Hello everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and today we are taking a look at what is probably the oldest guitar that I have covered on the channel to date. This is a 1934 National Trojan Resonator acoustic guitar. You heard that right, 1934, so that is 91 years old, almost a century old, which is quite baffling, but super cool. And it is also a resonator guitar, which I've also not even played ever, so that's also very interesting. So bear with me, as in that like I'm totally not an expert on these types of instruments. So I'm also kind of like just learning as into like for this demo and reading things like online. So if I make some mistakes, please do have mercy, or like inform me in the comments if I say things wrong. But super cool guitar, very cool vibe. Definitely smells old, looks old, feels old, and it is just a very old, very cool Resonator acoustic guitar. So made by National, and National was kind of like also like in close ties with the brand called Harmony, and Harmony was, I believe, like the Sears catalog guitar brand that you could like buy at Sears, which was like a big wear store that has been around for a long time, and those instruments were then made in Chicago. National, I believe, is a brand in and of itself, and then the necks, I believe, were made by National, and then the bodies were made by Harmony in Chicago, so it is an all US made guitar from those days. And this one is actually also in a very nice shape for the age that it is. Almost 100 years old. It has probably had a neck reset done in the past because it plays very well, which is then like indicative of it having had a neck reset. That is more than likely the case with this one, as well as probably a refret, because these frets are also in a very nice shape. Plenty of life left in them, so more than likely these have also then been replaced. Also some replaced cracks here and there, and but all in all, mojo and more mojo, because it is yeah, as we can tell, it has lived a life. It has wear, scratches, dents all over, so this is really a very cool old piece of music history right here. So let's dive into the specs as to what I can find about these specs. So it is a resonator guitar, meaning that you have this big metal, almost like a pan, that is then installed into the wooden body, and this then has like a cone in it, also made out of metal, like made out of aluminum probably, which then was designed in order to kind of like give it a lot more volume, which is definitely the case. It definitely has quite a bunch of volume that this produces. And then like that cone that I just mentioned is kind of like floating inside of this whole entire aluminum structure thing. And then like the bridge is then also part of that cone, where the strings go over underneath this cover. And then the body, as for the wood, is probably made out of a ply birch wood. So the top, back, and sides. And then you do then have a maple neck, which by the way is quite beefy, quite chunky, definitely has a V profile, which is very 1930s-ish. A lot of brands, a lot of builders had like V-shaped necks at that time, so that was kind of like the standard from those days. The fingerboard appears to be made out of ebony, but it could also be, weirdly enough, maple that has been darkened to look like ebony, which apparently was a thing or is a thing. Personally, I've not yet seen that before, so I don't know, you be the judge of that, but it definitely looks very dark, looks very good, and it also just feels very good. And yeah, then also we've got these very cool like F-holes-ish over here on the top bout of the body. We also then got what appears to be a bone nut. Could also then very well be a replaced nut, which I think is the case, because this looks kind of like too good to be that old. And then we do got what appear to be the original kind of classical style tuners, which I have no idea who made these, what brand these are, but they definitely look cool and they also work quite well. And what is also kind of cool about these is that the serial number is then stamped into the top of the headstock. Hopefully you can see that, but that's also then kind of like a thing that they did on these type of models from the 1930s. And then the last thing to mention, I believe that most of it is indeed original. Definitely looks very old. This tailpiece definitely looks to be original, very retro, or even like before retro was even a word. Very old looking, as well as the entire metal casing slash resonator part on this also appears to be original and also in a very good shape. I believe that these are kind of like prone to like breaking in the sense that parts do then come loose. But from what I am experiencing when I'm playing this, it just works fine and it doesn't sound weird at all. So that is also very good to see. But like I said, probably a refret and probably a neck reset and probably a replaced nut. But yeah, all in all, it is just in a very, very good playing shape. Definitely looks very, very cool and also sounds very, very cool. Again, we don't ever have these in the shop, so it's very cool to like then have this in my hands. So yeah, very cool guitar. And then the last thing to mention, it also comes with its original hard shell case, so that is also incredibly cool to see. Also incredibly rare then. So very cool model, very cool sound that it gives. So let's hear what it sounds like and get to the playing part. But first, if you're interested in this 1934 National Resonator guitar from 1934, again almost 100 years old, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of cool acoustic guitars like these, or cool electric guitars, bass guitars even, all of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's hear what this 1934 National Resonator Trojan guitar sounds like. Going to be playing you some chords and then also some, maybe going to attempt some slide, even though I'm not a slide player at all, or like barely, but definitely try to like play some bluesy stuff. And yeah, I'll just see what I play because I'm not entirely sure, because I'm just so new to these types of models. But yeah, I will do my best. So let's then get to that part and hear what it sounds like.